What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Top 10 Pokemon back with yet another Pokemon card auctions of the week recap. We got a lot of very interesting auctions to go over, so thank you so much for tuning in. A quick shout out to the most recent members of this channel: Endorphin, Kanto Shark, Maria Crab, Vincent Allen Nagel, Epic 310, Adam Akinero, It's Me Edwin, Adam B, Eba 15, Filth Bag Deluxe, and Market Scraper. Each of you are absolute legends, thank you so much. And to those of you who aren't members yet, if you get anything out of my auctions of the week recaps or top 10 videos or any of my videos, please consider being a channel member to support me. I would really appreciate it. So folks, we don't have quite as many auctions as we usually do, but I would like to go more in depth with certain auctions that did occur this week, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Please be a subscriber if you're not already, and please use my eBay affiliate link to support the channel as well. If you don't want to be a member, you can do that also. All right, folks, let's crack open a Celsius and get started with this auction recap. Let's start with the graded Charizard cards from the Charizard Ultra Premium Collection box. Now, the Charizard VMAX and the Charizard V-Star aren't doing too bad this week. The VMAX sold for $152, while the V-Star sold for $160 as a PSA 10. The only one of these three that's kind of down in the dumps this week as far as value is the Charizard V, which only sold for $127.50. Speaking of Charizard, here is a modern Charizard that's been quite inexpensive from the very start. It's the Charizard Trainer Gallery card from Lost Origin. Sold this week for $67. Now, typically when a modern Charizard comes out and it's graded, it's usually fetching a premium price. This card was never really astronomically high in value. This week, one sold for only $67, so if you want to get your hands on a graded Charizard, this one's pretty inexpensive. A couple of awesome cards from the XY era. Here is a Black Star promo Pikachu EX. Very awesome card here, sold for $147.50. From Breakpoint set, here's a full art Gyarados EX, sold for $167. From Generations Radiant Collection, here is a Flareon EX, sold for $270 this week. We saw this Japanese full art XY promo of Skyla that sold for a whopping $950 as a Gem Mint 10. From Ancient Origins, we saw a Primal Groudon sell for about $186 US, and then the Mega Rayquaza sold for about $712 US. Getting into some Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield cards, here is the Rainbow Rare Pikachu VMAX from Vivid Voltage. Has some new lower sales this week. I think last time I covered this, which was a week or two ago, this card sold for about $280, which was about as low as I'd seen it at that point. But this week we had two sales, one for $255, another one for $250. So it's very obvious to me that the PSA 10 population for this card is somewhat overwhelming the market for this card, the value of it. So that's why we're seeing a bit of a decline in the price. Here we have a few CGC cards. Here's the CGC 10 Magikarp and Wailord GX from Team Up set. Sold for $274. And here, check this out, folks. This, in my opinion, was an absolute steal. It's a CGC 10 Charizard Holo from Boundaries Crossed. Sold for $255. Now, to put that into perspective, folks, this card as a PSA 10 has sold a couple times for over $2,000. So you can get a CGC 10 copy of this card for a fraction of that. So whoever picked up this card, I think you got yourself a phenomenal deal. Here we have a Japanese 25th anniversary Charizard Holo, got the CGC 10 Perfect label, sold for $710 this week. Up next we have numerous Black Label cards to go over. Here is a Black Label Japanese Pikachu promo that sold for $676. Here is a Queen of Clubs Mario Pikachu poker playing card, also the Black Label, sold for $632. Here is a Poncho wearing Pikachu Black Label card, sold for $1,415 US. And then we saw a Black Label Sylveon VMAX from Brilliant Stars that sold for $765 this week. Here is a Japanese Unknown V alternate art that sold for $910. A Black Label Japanese Aerodactyl V alternate art that sold for $1,247. And then a Japanese Charizard V alternate art from Brilliant Stars that sold for $2,583. And then we saw a Black Label English Charizard VMAX from Shining Fates that sold for $2,026. All right, folks, when I saw these next auctions come through, I was very puzzled. I was kind of throwing a fit. But the more I thought about it, the more I rationalized it. Let me show you. So we have these PSA graded 3-card booster packs that you get from Dollar Tree for $1. This Lost Thunder 3-card booster pack sold for $51. This Team Up booster pack sold for $56, while another one sold for $65. So immediately when I saw these auctions, I'm like, who on earth is paying $50 to $65 for a dollar booster pack? Like, that makes no sense to me. But the more I thought about it, I'm thinking, well, pack collectors, graded pack collectors, you would have to get these packs, right? And the minimum cost for grading a booster pack is $50. So when you think about it, whoever graded these packs probably lost some money with the grading fees, the cost of the pack, the cost of the shipping. So if you are indeed a graded pack collector, I mean, you don't really get much cheaper than that, I guess. Not my cup of tea in terms of collecting Pokemon cards, but to each their own. All right, on to some very interesting vintage card sales. Here is a CGC10 Machamp Cosmos Holo from the base 2 2-player CD theme deck. Look at the holo on this card. Boy, does it pop. This card sold in auction for $695. Then we saw a first edition Lieutenant Surge's Magneton, also got a CGC10, and it sold for $255. And check this out, folks. Here is a PSA 10 first edition WotC Holo that sold for $189. Now, granted, it's a trainer, but I mean, less than $200 for a PSA 10 first edition WotC Holo? You people spend like several times that amount on modern day trainer cards. So that just blows my mind that this card sold for less than $200. What do y'all think? Here we have a Topps Chrome Spectrum Mewtwo card that sold for $951 this week. A few cards from Neo Destiny. Here's a Light Arcanine in PSA 10, sold for $715. Here's a Shining Celebi that sold for $736, and a Shining Tyranitar that sold for $1,628. And then here we saw a PSA 10 Gold Star Gyarados that sold for $10,755 US. A couple of cards from the EX era. Here is a Reverse Holo Lugia from Unseen Forces that sold for $456, while the Flareon EX from Delta Species sold this week for $660. Here we had an Articuno Holo from Majestic Dawn, sold for an even $1,000. And then a Charizard G Level X from Supreme Victor sold for $2,076. From Call of Legends set, we saw a beautiful Suicune come by, and it sold for $1,944.69. And then we saw this awesome Japanese Pokemon Center black and white promo card featuring all the evolutions, sold for $1,162. And only one legitimate looking booster box sale from eBay was this unlimited Neo Genesis box that sold for $10,800. On to the PWCC weekly auction recap. They had a few bangers come through. Here's a BGS 10 Reviving Legends promo card. Pop 1 of 1 as far as BGS 10s go, and it sold for $4,080. Now here's something pretty interesting. Here's a Reverse Holo Crystal Charizard from Skyrage set that sold this week via PWCC for $3,360, while last week this card sold for $5,361. So it's kind of weird to see a $2,000 decrease in a matter of a week. Not sure what was up with that. Here's a first edition Vaporeon Holo from Jungle Set, PSA 10, sold for $6,300. Here is a Pikachu Art Academy card in PSA 10 that sold for $8,700 this week. Here is the Charizard G Level X Black Star promo. This Level X Charizard is significantly harder to grade than the one from Supreme Victors. This one sold this week for $8,700. And then we saw this Japanese Gold Star Charizard in PSA 10 sell for $10,500. Here is a Topps Chrome PSA 9 Charizard Sparkle card that sold for $11,400, while this Expedition Charizard Holo sold for $13,800 this week. And last week, this card sold for $8,100 via Heritage Auction. So another massive disparity between the sales of this exact same card between two auction houses. And the auction of the week, I'm going to have to give to this PSA 9 Pikachu Illustrator that sold for $14,200. Gotcha. Nah, I keyed. The auction of the week actually goes to this PSA 10 first edition base set Charizard that sold for $13,001. I'm sorry, I know it's not April Fool's. I know you're probably thinking top 10. Cut it out. Alright? It's not funny anymore. The auction of the week I'm going to give to the base set Venusaur, in which we saw a shadowless copy in PSA 10 sell for $2,880, while a first edition example sold for $18,600. That concludes the auctions of the week recap. Thank you so much for tuning in and sticking around. I really appreciate it. Like I said, give the video a like on your way out if you haven't already, and I will catch you all in my next one.